All right. Hey guys, it's Miss Lastly and Miss Margaret, and we are here for day number 23. We are reviewing week 3 of this unit, which was your factorials and binomial theorem. This should be pretty quick. We spent a good amount of time talking about binomial theorem, and you guys did pretty well on the checkpoint for this week. So hopefully this will be a quick review, and yeah, should be pretty good. All right, Miss Margaret, it's on you.
Cool. So remember that a factorial is just an integer. And then you have, so it's an integer n, and then times all of the integers before it. This was updating this morning. Come on. So a factorial is just an integer n times all the integers before it. So if you have something like 5 factorial, you're going to have 4 or 5 because n is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and that is equal to 5 factorial. Remember that our symbol for a factorial is the exclamation mark right here. Okay, and then the only other thing I'm going to talk about with factorials is when you're expanding one. So remember when you have something like n plus 2 or something like that, you're going to take factorial. So you're going to take that and you're just going to expand it. So your expansion formula is n factorial, and then you're going to have n minus 1 factorial, n minus 1, n minus 2 factorial. So here we would have n plus 2, n minus 1. You're going to subtract 1 from 2, so you're going to have n plus 1 factorial. And then if you were to keep going, you would have n plus 2, n plus 1, and then you would have n factorial like that. It's being so like that. Okay. So yeah, that seemed to confuse you guys a little bit when we were doing these, but just remember that you're taking whatever's in your parentheses there before your exclamation point, and you're just subtracting 1. So don't think that it's just n and then n minus 1. You're subtracting 1 from that 2, and then from whatever you have, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, some of the ones on the checkpoint, there were a couple that people I definitely saw got mixed up, like they didn't know which one was bigger, the top or the bottom. Remember, you can always like pretend that n is some number. So like if you have, say, like a fraction and you have n plus 2 factorial on the top and then n minus 2 on the bottom, factorial on the bottom, like pretend that n is a number, and then you can easily kind of see, okay, if n is 7, what's bigger, 7 plus 2 or 7 minus 2? And then that might even be able to help you figure out like how to break pieces off, right? So just kind of a tip if you're not really sure which one's larger, because remember when you're simplifying, you want to take the larger one and pull pieces off until it's equal to the smaller piece. And then you can simplify because it's, you know, it's not the same thing over itself. So if you're ever confused, just remember, you can plug in like a number to like get an idea of what's happening, and then it might make it easier for you to simplify. Remember, you can't leave that fake number that you substituted in your final answer, but it might at least help you figure out which one is bigger, right, and how to simplify.
Yep. Cool. That's all I have for factorials. Oh, it's math. Which one is it? Math 4, I think.
Yeah, math num 4.
Math num 4, yep. Math num 4, and that's for your calculator. Cool. Okay, so the next thing we talked about, we spent like 2 days, 3-ish days on binomial theorem. So I'm just gonna, again, give you the highlights, and then if you want more in-depth notes, we did do 2 days of this, so go watch those videos, go look at those notes. But here are a review highlight. So we have x plus y n. So this is our binomial. And then the formula for the expansion of this binomial is n. And then remember we have the summation because you're adding all the terms together. And then we have n factorial, n minus k factorial, k factorial. And then we have x n minus k, y to the k. Okay, so there's a lot of pieces here. So I'm just gonna go over them kind of quickly and then talk about a couple other things and then we'll be done for today. So we have k here is our start term. N is the term you want to go to. Okay, and then let's do, so this factorial piece here can help you, is to find coefficients. If you don't like using this to find coefficients, you're more than welcome to use Pascal's triangle, but this will find your coefficient for whatever term you are finding in your expansion, or use Pascal's triangle. But remember, when you're using Pascal's triangle, if you have, I don't know, term 20, you don't want to write out 20 rows of Pascal's triangle because that just sounds annoying. So you can just use this piece here.
And remember, that piece is just your NCR formula. So the same thing we use for combinations, that's the formula. So you know how to find that in your calculator. But yeah, so it's either Pascal's triangle or that piece, which is the official binomial theorem piece. But that's just your combination formula. So you can use your calculator.
Okay. And then this other piece on the thing here, this green piece is just the terms of your binomial. So your exponents are going to follow those patterns. So your first exponent will follow the pattern n minus k. N minus k. And remember, this one is the one that starts at your highest one and then decreases by 1 until you get to 0. So you start high minus 1 until 0. And then your second exponent follows the pattern k, and that one does the opposite of what the other one does. So it starts at 0 plus 1 and then until you get n. And I guess I should say here, you start at n and you subtract 1 until you get 0, just like that. Coefficients I kind of talked about up here, but remember you can either use your factorial piece, and that's math prob. One calculator says PRB and the other says prob. I don't remember which one is which, but you guys know your calculators. And then you want option number 3, so it says NCR. Remember, if you have an old calculator, you need to put N in first, go through those steps, and then put in R and hit enter. If you have a new calculator, it'll pop up with nice boxes for you to just fill in so you don't have to put in N first. That should be pretty easy for you guys to follow though, because you used it for 2 weeks. So hopefully you guys remember how to do that. One thing I forgot to mention about exponents is that for every term, the 2 exponents should equal n. So your 2 exponents should equal n. Yep. I think that's it. Sorry, I kind of all over the place today, but there's your calculator piece. And then I think that's it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Your homework for today is, again, more review problems. You have, I think, 4 factorials to simplify, a binomial to expand, and some other things to do. It shouldn't be anything not familiar. So, yeah.
Yep, and as the last 2 days, I will make sure that the checkpoint from this week is also in that blank homework section. So you guys can go check out that checkpoint if you want to redo any of those questions and try some of the problems over again. Most of you guys did really good, so I don't think there's going to be too many people probably wanting to try, but if you want to, I will make sure that it's up there for you guys to practice. Yeah, that's it for today, and we will see you guys tomorrow for permutation and combination.
Yep.
All right, bye guys.
Yes.